Let's go.
on
Skyrim.
PC.
Inside. One of my all-time favorite games ever.
So many people's online all-time favorites. Yeah, Age of Empires 2.
Age of Empires 2, man. I, as a kid, 11, 12, 13 years old, this is all I did on an old compact computer. And the fact that like
Classic.
these old compact, you had like the whole thing out the back, it was rough. You turn it on, it sounded like a jet engine. So what has happened? A Skyrim superfan has recreated the entire game inside Age of Empires 2. Spent 400 hours doing this. So here's what happened. Specifically, Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. The Reddit post was by user Grouchy BlueJ4511, an alias account for... How do you pronounce that?
Bubba Baylor.
Bubba. That's his username. Bubba Baylor. The mastermind behind the project, which took more than 400 hours of work and more than a year to complete. Bubba Baylor explains that their mod contains more than 50 quests, 100 unique characters, and the ability for players to play as one of the holds vying for control of Skyrim. Additionally, just real quick, you can play the entire Skyrim main storyline inside Age of Empires 2, Costa.
This is bananas, right? So this is Age of Empires 2 with the isometric visuals. Like you're looking, classic RTS sprites, StarCraft, Warcraft, top-down RTS game, and recreated all of Skyrim, like
one-to-one scales.
Yeah, like you can see, like as soon as I saw like the screenshot of like Whiterun, I'm like, oh, that's Whiterun. Like it's like fan recreates Skyrim in Age of Empires 2, and then you see the screenshot and you're like, okay, yeah, that's Whiterun. I can tell that's the keep there, and that's like you can actually see the layout, like when you're walking through the gates, because I've put so many hours into Skyrim.
Yeah.
I can just like picture like walking through the streets. I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty cool map. Like this like doubles as a good like map for Skyrim. Like even if you're playing normal Skyrim, you could print out screenshots of this mod and just use it as a map to get around.
That's a great idea. That is awesome. I'm sure the modder would love that. So I'll just read a quote from the original story here. The map has the entire main quest of Skyrim scripted. So 7 players control different holds, and 1 player, Folkreath,
yeah.
Folkreath,
The most boring city.
the most boring city.
It is the most boring city.
Gets to control the Dragonborn. All the main side quests are also scripted, from Azure Star to the Dark Brotherhood. You've got Blood on the Ice and Walking Nightmares, etc. Over 50 quests for the Dragonborn player, and the more you complete, the more OP your Dragonborn gets. The buildings are named, and there is something like 75 unique heroes/characters you earn by in-game kills. It's incredible. This is just a really, really cool mod, and I love the fact that it's built in Age of Empires 2, specifically the Definitive Edition.
Yeah, like recreating the map is always going to be impressive, right? There was like a few years ago where somebody created one-to-one Gondor in Minecraft, the White City, and it just looks bananas, right? Because it took them like years to do it.
Yeah, I remember it.
And so this just alone on that side would have taken a lot of time, but it's a functioning game too. Like it's an actual mod that has like quests and objectives, and like it's recreating all these things and iconic location characters, quests and shit, all that sort of stuff from Skyrim. Like on top of the fact that you're recreating the map is pretty crazy. So 400 hours is probably the fact that he got it in 400 hours is impressive. That it didn't take 800 hours or 1,000.
I thought 400 was low as well, given the level of detail.
Yeah, true. The way you read it, it's like, oh, they spent 400 hours to make it. And you're like, why? Like, how did they get it so quickly? I spent probably, no, maybe not 400 hours. Maybe like 100 hours on one of my settlement in Fallout 4.
Oh, wow.
Have you seen my settlement in Fallout 4?
No.
I'll send you this. It's actually on YouTube, and maybe we can play a clip with it.
All right. Yeah.
So I like basically when the game came out, all the expansions, like I spent like over the course of like the year or like 8-9 months, but not like every day, but like going back to it constantly and just spending like hours just building on Xbox, mind you.
Oh,
this
really?
settlement. So I had to use like a hack. So like, because you're limited to the size of that you can build for the settlements in Fallout.
And you're like,
So
look, I
the-
need bigger.
So there was this hack where if you drop items on the ground, and then when you go into building mode, those items are there, and you just destroy them, then that subtracts from like your building size. So there was like a hack where you could just have unlimited building size. So the video, you'll see, I'll send you the link.
Yeah.
Like it's running at like 20 FPS at best because it's 4 stories. Like it's all
Oh my
themed.
God.
There's
Oh,
a deathcore
wow.
cafe. There's like a whole like game section. There's like it's like
It's big.
it's called the Costonium Museum of Wonder.
Oh my Lord. You have to send me this video. We'll link it down below for other people to watch as well if we can't fit it in the YouTube version of this podcast. But yeah, that's crazy. I love mods. I love what people do with them. I love how creative they get. And I love when games give players the ability to be able to customize and add things, and the result is before you. It is Skyrim inside of a legendary title.
Yep.
All right.